Okay, so these are the credits. Make sure everybody gets their props that made this great game.
Well, what is this that I can't see with ice cold hands taking hold of me?
But instantly copyright this because that's what they do.
When God is
They love
gone
doing
and the devil
that kind of
takes
stuff.
hold,
When I was, this is a cool sounding song, by the way. But I was talking, like singing over the song in the first video of this, and they copyrighted that. Even though I was singing over it intensely, I was singing the copyright song. Copyright, 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 copyright. I was saying that over and over and over. It's a beautiful song. It's cool, but how can you copyright it when I am literally talking over it? That's the definition of fair use. Commentary. Well, what else? And I'm doing this video right now, this particular video. Thank you for watching, by the way. I'm doing this specifically to give the people that made this game their credit, give them their due. They don't care about that. These record companies are just. I'm gonna make a video of them by name and show what disgusting people they are. You know, a bit better ending? Metallica, Enter Sandman. Man, I can't believe I ended like that. I could have, if you watched my ending, hopefully I can go back and play it chapter by chapter. Hopefully there'll be a cool little scene at the end here. I don't care copyright. I don't get paid for these anyway. It irritates me because of just the principle of it, but still, I'm not getting paid for anything I'm doing anyway. So enjoy 0 of 0, super rich record companies. It's funny that I've even had games where the developers have said, "Yeah, go ahead," but of course, then the record label, "Hey, now I've won Square Enix put one on me, no problem with them. 2K, one with them. WB Warner Brothers, one with them, but it's the no-name ones, the ones I think are made up. I think they're just people. When you go to them, you can't find them. I think they're just people claiming videos, trying to make money. There's a video earlier in the game, like I said, that the very first one. It's 1 hour long. And for 1 minute of copyrighted music that I was singing over word for word, I was going copyright, 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 and they still were able to do it. And the 1 minute, they would, if say I was one of these people that has 100,000 followers and was getting a lot of money, they would get all the revenue for the 1 hour video for 1 minute. Actually, it's anything over 16 seconds straight. That's what I've been told. So obviously, but the thing is, if you're talking over it, if you're commentating about it, then fair use by law is allowed. But anyway, I'm talking about that too much. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. What do you think? I think I'll check out that Sherlock Holmes game, because I think I could beat that pretty fast. And that could be another one. I'm not sure. Heavy Rain is still not working. Sony can't figure out what to do. So, you know what though? While I'm doing this, where's my tablet? It's 5 a.m. What time is it? Let's see what time it is, folks. Oh, it's only 3:39 a.m. I thought it was much later. Okay, let's check and see my emails. Let's see what we got going on. What we have. Have any YouTube comments? By the way, I really do love your comments. I look forward to them. They give me. I go looking for them. And trust me, nowadays I actually have to look for them. YouTube does not automatically show all comments, so if you get missed, please don't think it's Please don't think it's me ignoring you. I'm looking all the time. I'm trying to find them. Oops, I closed the wrong thing. My bad. Derpa 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 derpa. I'm gonna try using the trim tool and see if I can trim off the last video, because there's like 20 seconds of that music of death, oh death, you know, whatever. Okay, let's see. You know, I want to say something. I don't think anybody's watching at this point anyway. Okay, lifetime, 30,000 views. 30,000. They sell ads on my videos. I've never gotten 1 cent from them. Not 1 cent. Now, I didn't start off doing it to make money at all, but maybe some remuneration since they're getting money. You know what I mean? Like, if they weren't getting any money, I wouldn't be irritated. But the fact is, they're making money off of my videos, my reviews, all that kind of stuff. And it's like, you're not giving me a cut because I don't have 1,000 people and 4,000 hours watched. Those are the new goals. They used to be 100 subscribers and 1,000 hours watched, much more easily attainable. Now it's 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours watched, and that's not lifetime. That's fiscal year to fiscal year. So you have to break through it, and I don't want to do the drama videos that I guess would get through. I have so many thoughts about Star Wars and the way they're going, the Lord of the Rings series on Amazon, the way everything's streaming, but streaming is split up into 15 different things now. But anyway, this was a great game, and I mean, they really did a great job. I think the ending felt a little bit rushed. I mean, why isn't there something extra with Hannah? That's what I'm waiting for here. Let's hope for a little extra scene. What about a little extra scene with the crazy psychiatrist? Who was he? What was he? I mean, he broke the fourth wall, and now we knew at the end that you were actually Josh, but at the same time, you were you. I pretended like gore freaked me out, and it doesn't, but, so I got a lot of cool gore, but I did put answer honestly, and so the game tailored its horror towards that, which is cool. But it's like a fourth wall within a fourth wall within a fourth wall break. But anyway, that was cool. That was a very cool game. If you get a chance, check out my playlist. You'll see I have a playlist for every game, and then I have like sections for each of the reviews I've done. All Star Wars reviews are in one, all Darth Vader or Sith reviews in another, all Lord of the Rings videos, and all my Lord of the Rings videos, I do one per week, are Toy Biz, really rare, and then they're mixed with lore. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Look. Here you go. It's Josh. Those cops. It's Josh.
Coming down.
We have a visual on a survivor. One survivor, repeat. Is that?
Oh, fuck.
Stay back! Stay back! No! Stay back!
Butterfly effect updated one last time. Let's see what that last butterfly effect was. Important discovery. Josh heard the truth about Josh recognized Hannah, and Josh recognized Hannah. Josh was alive, trapped, and cannibalistic. Sam escaped. Mike died in the lodge. Ashley escaped. Emily escaped. And Emily, next time I'm letting her die. I'm wasting her. Chris escaped. Okay. Let's see if there's any. Okay, we've got updates on all this. Okay, this has been updated. Why has this been updated? Where's the update? Do you see an update? The Wendigo in the mine also had a tattoo of a butterfly. Okay. A portrait of the Washington Twins. They must update Hannah's tattoos identical. Okay, we got that. Okay, so are we fully current? Everything. So obviously, see, as you can see, there's a lot to unlock still. So I definitely gonna probably do so. And look, let's check out the bonus content. You meet the cast.
I am Hayden Panettiere, and we are here at the
Save the
studio
cheerleaders,
recording
save the
Until
world.
Dawn.
One of the
My
most
name is Robbie
popular
Mallett,
shows.
and I play Josh.
My name
Bohemian
is
Rhapsody.
My name is Brett Dalton.
My name is Antonella Lentini, and I played Hannah and Beth.
My name is Jordan Fisher, and I play the character Matthew, Matt for short.
I'm Nicole Bloom, and I play Emily in the game.
My name is Noah Fleiss.
I am Galadriel Steinman, and I play Ashley.
So, Until Dawn is the story of 8 teenagers who revisit this cabin in the woods about a year later after a really traumatic
Rami Malek.
incident where I've lost 2 of my sisters, so coming to kind of get some closure in that respect.
One of the things that Larry does really well is make these multi-layered characters, and I think for just the story in general, it follows the quintessential horror film plot lines, but the characters are so unique in themselves, and I think that's very cool.
Oh, this was
Yeah,
the right
it's-
thing to do.
What?
You know, get
Yeah, it's
everyone
engrossing
together on the
points.
anniversary.
Overall,
I mean, Josh seemed really pumped about us all doing something, didn't he?
Yeah.
obviously,
he
this
definitely
was
did.
pre.
I haven't seen him so excited about something.
This was beta or alpha footage.
Sam and I have
I want to see if they got her in the motion capture suits, though.
huge lovers of animals, and she's a huge animal lover.
My wolf
She's
survived.
vegan. She is a pacifist. I'm not quite sure if I'm gonna go as far as saying that I'm a pacifist, but she's spunky and cool. I know that she, I think, is made fun of a little bit by the rest of them who think that her morals and her beliefs in that area are a little ridiculous, and they don't agree with them. But she doesn't care. It doesn't stop her from being herself, and that's
Gotta
something
get that in, don't we?
I hope I have in common with her.
Virtue signal.
Definitely can be depressed at some times and a bit of a loner, but he takes some solace in one of his sister's friends, Sam, played by Hayden Panettiere, and
Yeah.
invites everybody back to the same house the next year to kind of find some closure.
And to
Jessica
kill them all,
is-
or freak them out.
She has a whole lot of personality. She is definitely the sort of mean
I can tell you right
girl
now, Emily,
character that, you know,
when I do a
at school,
playthrough,
she knows
Emily's
she's
getting
pretty,
killed.
She knows that boys like her, and she's going to use it to her advantage.
He's got a big heart, and you can tell that that's very evident, especially how he treats his girlfriend Emily. And you know, he's kind of a meathead, but in the best way possible.
She really knows what she wants, and she manages to get that from
Emily's-
whoever it is, whether
she's
it's
a-
Matt or Mike. You know,
At the
she's
end,
really
she was
driven, and
blaming him, even though
I can
he
definitely
saved
relate
her.
to that.
My character is Chris, and he is what society might consider the nerd. of
Beta.
the group. And he kind of embraces it.
Ashley she's a little more serious than some of the other girls.
He's the
She's
friend zone
definitely
guy.
Very intelligent and thoughtful. She kind of looks at the whole big picture of things. She's not quite as geeky as Chris, but
Wow, she
they
looks
connect
a
in a lot
lot
of
like,
ways.
wow.
Mike is like big guy on campus. He's the class president who has
They did
some
a great
charm,
job
has-
with the
has
graphics.
brain, and I don't know. People seem to like Mike. He gets away with a lot, though. He can be kind of jerky.
The fact that he really just kind of wants everyone to be happy. I mean, he's a people pleaser, and that's I can definitely attest to being that guy. I'm
This
always
is
a friend
definitely
that
getting
wants everybody to be
copyrighted.
happy and wants everybody to be taken care of, and that's definitely Matt.
But also, like, this character is just so fun. I rarely get to play the bitch, and so it was really fun to do
definitely.
The spirit of things, seriously, what's wrong with you?
Just trying to lighten the mood, Em.
I tried to let her die several times, but it
the
never
way
came
you're
up.
being, you always get like this.
I just think this is just the coolest thing to be a part of, and I just think it's going to take the world by storm. I really do. I think this genre is the wave of the future, and I think
They're not
that,
wrong. There's been how
once
many of
people
these kind of
see
games have
the
there been?
potential behind it of getting to interact with the drama that you're witnessing unfold.
But let's
in
give
such a
credit where it's due.
realistic
Quantic
way,
Dream really started
that
it.
this is how entertainment's going to be from now on.
Alright, so let's see this. I want to see them in motion capture suits.
Hi, this is Lee Robinson, production designer on Until Dawn. The production design for Until Dawn started with the great teen horror script that sets the characters in a Canadian winter mountain lodge, being a contemporary setting with visual clues derived from classic films of that genre, such as Hitchcock's Psycho and Stanley Kubrick's Shining. The storyboards are vital to the production design, as it allows the designer to understand the scale of the environments to be made and the detail that would be seen to create the atmosphere of a horror. This took us into concepts that took these storyboards further, visualizing the world through the color palette, the lighting, tone, and the mood, and developing key locations such as the lodge, the cable car stations, the forests themselves,
So
the
much
wilderness.
goes into just a simple scene.
As you can see, the environments and atmospheres change quite a bit from warm and inviting to cold and threatening. The Millionaire's Mountain Lodge was a key example. It was designed to be made from nearby stone and timber, embedding it into the landscape, with a contrasting and contemporary interior needing to be opulent and extravagant. We created dark and claustrophobic corridors with ominous and large open spaces, almost cathedral-like in size, and with huge structures to silhouette and dwarf the characters within, providing a labyrinth to explore and wander. Each character was developed with a strong visual identity in mind, with contrasting colours, tones and silhouettes to identify them, each to have their own texture, pattern and shape, so that when they were lined up you could always identify them. The costume designs allowed a range of clothes that would suit them for the cold winter weather, but also have an element of style and individualism, so that the audience could look at them and relate, recognizing themselves within them.
A lady would like to cuddle up with her man by a nice cozy fire bathed in atmospheric mood lighting.
Right. It'll get plenty toasty once we're rubbing up against each other.
Mike, fire and mood lighting.
Yes.
Working with the lighting artists, we really brought the look and feel of the world together, and this required a thorough understanding of the visual language of teen horror. A key scene was where all the characters emerge out of the rear of the lodge chasing Hannah. A contrast is evident straight away from the exterior wilderness to the warmth of the lodge. The attention to character lighting here is through the bounce and rim lighting, accented colours and composition, creating characters that come from the dark into the light and back again with an emotional effect.
Guys, there's someone outside. What the hell?
Hannah!
Actually, it looked a lot better than.
What's going on? Where's my sister going?
It's supposed to be
Fine,
alpha
she just can't take a
footage.
joke. It was just a prank, Han.
Okay, well, we might as well check out everything. Let's check it out.
Until Dawn is a game that's full of horror, and one of the things we decided to do early on was to take a scientific approach to how scary it was.
Cool.
So we did experiments on people and we measured their responses to the game. We've created a test area. It's as close to a home setup as we can get it. We've recruited ordinary people to play the game and we've left them to play it on their own.
You're turning the light on.
I mean, there were some great.
The only difference is it's rigged with cameras and microphones that relay the data through to the next room where people are watching them play. Bracelet here we use for biometric testing. It measures the player's emotional response. It's called a galvanic response sensor. It makes contact with the user's skin and it measures the electrical conductivity across their skin. It's the same principle as an old-fashioned lie detector. When you're stressed, you sweat a little. Very sensitive.
Lie detector tests are still not admissible in court because they're not
That data's fed back to a testing team, comes through as a graph.
I doubt this is. Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm glad I didn't drop her.
There's no point testing one or two people, you have to test a lot of people.
Watch your step.
When we have a scare that's
This is
consistently has a measurable emotional response, then we knew it was good. If it didn't have that, it goes back to the team for improvement. The data doesn't tell us what's wrong with the scare, it only tells us if it's working or not.
Wait, okay, so you hear that too, right? Josh.
Here we have a chapter relatively early in the game.
Weirdly regular.
Nothing regular about it.
We have to create tension and anxiety in the player so they are ready to receive the
I think
scare.
they did a good job. Well, that dude failed. I bet he failed his quick time events. She definitely failed all her quick time events.
You have to give the player time to recover, to cool down, to calm down, and then start building the tension again before we do the next scare.
So she really buried her head and got the same result as someone who would have hit the QTEs. Okay.
Yeah, I have such an adrenaline high from that game.
There's two things we found. One is we could look at the scares, analyse if our expected scares were working effectively. Were people shrieking and covering their hands, or were they getting an emotional response from it? And being scientific about it means that we strip out people's opinions about whether things are working or not. We've got
inside
data,
I had a
and we
few
look at the
jumps,
data.
but
If it's working, we're happy with it.
I guess we go through enough real life stuff.
Scared and wanting to get away.
I actually be maybe a bit scared to play it on my own, but in a room with the lights on.
It's amazing that what they went into though.
As well. Yeah, maybe.
When do we get until
I'm
dawn
scared to get
part
out
2?
and play with someone in the room. And the lights on.
I'm gonna look that
One of
up.
the scariest games I've played in a long while.
Okay, we've got another. Oh yeah, the motion capture's coming up. Yeah, the script had to be massive.
Hey, Graham.
To cover everything that.
Hi, my
all
name is
the
Graham
choices.
Resnick. I'm a filmmaker, writer, director, sound designer.
6,000 choices in Detroit
started
become
working
you
with Larry
right
Fessenden about 10, 15 years ago through my
different
friend Ty
indies.
West, who I grew up with, and have done a lot of sound design with on his films. And he was producing Ty's films at the time, and Ty introduced me to Larry. Larry produced my first feature, and we've written together on several projects.
My name is Larry Fessenden. I'm a filmmaker. I run Glass Eye Pix, which is an independent production company out of New York.
Hey, as
We
of
make
posting
indie
of
movies,
this video,
a lot of
Walmart
scary
has
movies as
Man
well.
of Medan for $24.99.
And I got a call to audition to write this video game. And I called my pal Graham Resnick because Graham is a gamer. And while I thought I could offer something to the idea of writing this multi-branching story, I knew that I would want Graham's expertise as a lover of gameplay, since I guess games were started. So
and just as a lover.
And as a lover, yes.
Rush of Blood and a prequel called
That's why there's so many sex jokes in the game.
There was one Italian website that did say the Larry
that's
Fessenden and
right.
Graham Resnick, the two lovers behind Until Dawn.
Come here.
So as of 4 months ago, they were still
Maybe
talking
I know
about
how to
it,
handle you
but
too.
they're
I
both
am definitely ready to be handled.
So I wanted Graham by my side. Yeah, and we got the gig, and it's been an
Rush of
amazing ride.
Blood and a prequel called The Inpatient. But will Superbad ever make Until? It seems unlikely.
She's taking her shirt.
Why? Yeah, why
What?
would you make a
Oh my
sequel
God.
to your most
Matt,
game that?
what are you
Oh yeah,
doing here?
Man of Medan is their new
Hannah.
game.
I'm sorry, Hannah. This all got out of hand, but
So in the game, the basic setup is that a year prior to the game's start, all these kids had gone up to a ski lodge that was owned by the parents of one of the kids, or a couple of the kids, and some of the teenagers played a prank on some of the other teenagers, and a terrible tragedy occurred when a few of them, two sisters, ran out into a blizzard and we're never seen from again. And so now, a year later, this is kind of torn apart, this group of friends. They've gone through some trials and tribulations in the past year. The brother of the two girls is
yeah, I do need to get Man of Medan.
And to kind of help him cope and help them all get over it, they all return to the lodge a year later, back up on the mountain.
I've never heard of Rush of Blood.
The idea is to get over it, but
and
the healing does not begin.
Inpatient? The
and these kids are all
inpatient.
trying to find themselves. They've been through a trauma, but in general, they're just teenagers trying to figure out who they are. So they're all kind of falling into the patterns, the stereotypes, the characters they see on TV and in the movies.
I think we were very interested in
Yeah, they were definitely in
taking genre tropes and kind of
it's a
making them
VR game.
sort of refresh them.
Wow.
Hey, did
They
you
must
see
have
that?
run out of money
Why
on
did
this
it just be us this weekend?
We're familiar with how slasher movies work. Most people have seen some horror movies, and we have established notions and preconceptions about the roles of the players in horror movies and how they talk and how they get killed and how they have sex. And
So it seems like I love
to bring you into a game that way
Until
and to avoid
Dawn.
a lot of those
They really kind of seems like
They're haunted by
Supermassive
some
Games
incidents
really
that
screwed
happened in
up
the
by
past, which
not
I think you
making
can
a
figure out that
sequel
that's going to
of some
have
way.
a role in their interaction. Yeah, so I think what was fun was we take some sort of stock characters and we try to give them some shape, but at least at the beginning they're recognizable in the
So there won't be
way
a
of
sequel ever.
groups of friends. There's the jock and the bitchy girl and the rivalries between everyone. And
oh my gosh, and really fun characters too. Like we just had so much fun living in the minds of these characters through writing the script.
What do you think?
Jesus!
It was fun. I think we were looking to get that kind of banter that you see both in movies, but also that you absolutely have with friends and sort of those inside jokes. And of course, as writers
So
and
we're
as friends
getting
ourselves,
the
we
epilogue
sort of
credits
developed little tracks, and we try to give the characters that kind of vibe.
All right, so let's see if we can get through. Whoa, what'd I do? No, the score. No, we'll have to skip that one. This is what we want to see, the motion capture. From
My name is
stage
Will
to
Bynes,
screen.
Executive Creative Director of Until Dawn. The first part of getting a believable facial performance in-game is to capture topographically the actor's range of emotional expressions as separate versions of the same head. Every tiny nuance gets digitized and merged, effectively creating a model that can recreate every facial movement that the actor makes. Once the topography has been recorded, the actor's performance itself can be captured by using a predetermined set of marker points, drawn precisely on the face, and a high-def helmet cam, wirelessly linked to capture devices.
That's the same one that Rosa Salazar used in Alita.
It records in high def the movement of the dots throughout the performance that will drive the expressions captured earlier.
They didn't get
Unlike
the
other
teeth
systems,
though, right? Though.
this form of capture is far less lossy because there are fewer interpretations between performance captured and performance rendered finally
They're
in
not
game.
having to wear full motion.
The audio
Remember,
is also recorded.
Rosa
by two
Salazar
separate
had to
rebellion
wear a
mics
full suit
attached to the
and helmet, big helmet.
It takes a while for the actors to acclimatise to carrying around the recording devices and the helmet cams, but very soon the shoot becomes similar to any other effects shoot or a green screen shoot. The actors in these scenes are only recording facial animation, but use cursory body movements for pacing.
Wait, and maybe we should all stick together and find everybody and make sure they're all okay, so...
1-1, the year before the prank. Take 2, Mark.
Other than the other actors, they have to use their imagination for everything and everywhere that they are supposed to be seeing and feeling.
Idiot! So dumb!
From a hot midday studio in Los Angeles to a freezing midnight mountain in British Columbia.
It looks like the big stars, though, didn't have to do it. Let's just see.
Because Until Dawn has a dynamic, ever-changing story, the facial performances and the body performances are recorded separately, with different systems.
They don't have to do that anymore. Just go watch Alita Battle Angel and then watch the bonuses. Or go watch the bonuses for
we use
Detroit
reflective
Become
bead
Human.
suits and an infrared camera matrix system that drives the CG bone hierarchies in our character models.
Still cool. This is amazing to watch,
These
right?
performances cover everything
Very
from character
interesting.
locomotion, scene-specific performances, and stunt work, most of which was recorded at studios in Pinewood and Shepperton, near London.
Hannah! Hello?
Combining all the elements seamlessly in the final game becomes a formidable editing and logistical task.
I've
Every
gotta find
variation,
out, though,
both physical and
who
emotional,
was the
must be combined in
psychiatrist?
these multi-edits.
Who was the psychiatrist?
Scaffolding props have to stand in for the sets, because the hundreds of infrared cameras have to be able to see all of the reflective beads on the actor.
It's the same thing Ghost Adventures uses. Okay, so that's it. Oh, look at 3 more unlockables. So I could... Okay, bringing it to life. Let's check it out. Who was the psychiatrist?
Just move over there. Go on, move. Let me say what I came to say. I'm here to tell you what you're up against being back on this mountain. You should never have returned. I don't know
The
how you did
analyst.
after what happened last year.
You mean with Hannah and Beth?
Yeah, how could
Peter
you know without being
Stormare.
involved? I don't take kindly
From
to you
the
kids
beginning of
coming
John
up
Wick
here to
2.
my mountain.
Your mountain.
The mountain don't belong to me, it's true. But it don't belong to the Washingtons. This mountain belongs to the Wendigo.
Hi, this is Lee Robinson, production designer at Supermassive Games. Understanding the ancient myths of the Wendigo was key for their development that helped the visual look. Through sketches and concepts, these elements were visualized, such as eyes being milky, almost dead, with loss of lips and eyelids due to frostbite, fangs growing and arms and legs getting longer, with skin hardening and thickening to look snarling and menacing, yet withered and lean.
The hell was that?
Awesome.
Fingers and toenails extending like claws, allowing them to climb effortlessly. We made them look gaunt and weathered, and having ragged remains of clothes they wore. Blood-stained and rotten, with patches of hair still remaining, they retained strong skeletal limbs, which enable them to be agile and quick through the environment.
Where are you?
My name is Jamie Galliford, animation director at Supermassive. The overall direction on the creature was to be very strong, to be extremely fast. We wanted a spider-like movement to the creature. 1 minute scampering to leaping and then crawling, almost instantaneous. And finally, we wanted the creature to have this real, uncontrollable thirst for flesh.
From a sound design perspective, the Wendigo is a real challenge. For the main vocalizations of the Wendigo, we use our own vocalizations, various different animals from the exotic to the farmyard, various plugins and processes to gel these sounds together and keep a human resonance behind that voice, telling the backstory of the Wendigo. During the chase sequences, the anger of the Wendigo is felt by encircling breaths, screams, and screeches
part, by the way, had a lot
essentially
of,
chase you as you're being chased by the Wendigo.
Not only was he a character, but just from the Psycho's point of view, Josh's point of view.
We would layer them up in a multitude of layers, sometimes 15, 20 sounds playing at the same time, to build up the vocalizations for this fearsome creature, which is always in attack mode, hyperactive, and chasing you throughout the game.
Awesome, so there we go. That was, why does it say new? We've covered everything. What in hell's his name? Well, let's just watch this last one then. This will be it.
America's North Woods border region.
Within this land of 10,000 lakes and miles of dense timber, a hideous creature is believed to lurk.
The North Woods is probably one of the last frontiers in America. There's still a lot of places in this area that hasn't been set foot by man. Monsters and mysteries exist here because it is remote.
Up in the North Woods, winters are long. In times of biting cold and isolation, a devouring monster is believed to come forth. It's terrorized native people for generations.
Growing up, I was told, like, don't go outside, the Wendigo will get you.
So, if you wanted to go check out the
Among the
Until
traditions
Dawn
of the
wiki
northern Algonquin tribes
type in
is the
Dr.
Wendigo,
Hill.
a monster that can seize hold of a person
Dr. Hill
to carry out
not only
its
was he
hunger
a
for
character,
human flesh.
that was a
Many
very
Native
good
Americans
character in
fear
the
even
film.
talking
I think
about
he was
this
a hallucination
Wendigo.
character.
And even the mention of the name will let the Wendigo find out where you are, and it will open you up to be possessed by this Wendigo.
And what happens in them and what happens
The most famous case of a Wendigo
based
possession
upon your
took place in
answers.
1879.
The Donners.
In the deep woods outside of Edmonton, Alberta. Swift Runner, a Cree Indian, was a trapper and a guide. He had left town the previous autumn with his wife, 6 children, and his mother. But when Swift Runner returned in spring, he was alone.
Swift Runner came into a nearby village telling this heartbreaking tale.
I had to watch them starve to death.
Of his family being killed by starvation, and that he was the only survivor.
My whole family gone.
It wasn't hard to understand a family falling victim to a brutal winter.
To even not.
Yet something was suspicious about Swift Runner.
He's pretty healthy, huh?
He was a strapping man, and he came into town weighing over 200 pounds. It didn't look like somebody who had just weathered a terrible winter. He wasn't malnourished, didn't look like he was starving. He looked healthier than ever.
After a few nights, it became clear that something was wrong.
He started having night terrors, screaming in his sleep.
I am the Wendigo.
Villagers alerted the police.
Swift Runner actually guided them back to his winter cabin.
Into Pictures Archives. I watched
When they got
this,
there, that's when they saw the true horror.
In some show or another. I love these kinds of shows. This is awesome. I hope you
Human
guys are
skulls
enjoying
were
it. I hope
scattered
you all
around.
made it through the credits
Many
with me.
bones, some of which had been snapped in half, and the marrow inside had been drained. They had never seen anything like it. Swift Runner had killed his entire family, shooting them, hitting them with an axe, strangling, and then eating most of their bodies.
Oh,
Right up until the moment the noose was on his neck, Swift Runner swore the evil spirit of the Wendigo had possessed him and twisted him.
Monster Quest. Monster Quest, that was a show.
When he was on the gallows, Swift Runner himself said, "I am no longer a man."
That's awesome. Okay, so we've got all the movie clips that are available that I didn't. So everything is done, all that, and so the only option now, I want to see episodes. Okay, oh good, look at this, folks. I can go back and change everything. How about that? So I can decide. Alright, alright. Alright, that works for me. Alright, so thank you so very much for watching. This could be replayed like 6 or 7 times to get everything. Thank you so much for watching. If you stuck with it, this video through here, you probably got to see a bunch of cool stuff. Thank you so much for watching. If you did stick, please drop a like. Definitely comments. I want to know what you think, what you thought of the game, what you thought of what you just saw, all that kind of stuff, what you want me to play next. Also, if you can, share, subscribe, hit the bell. Thank you so much. And you have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, or night, depending on whatever time it is, wherever you are, whenever you're watching this. Thank you so much for watching my video. I appreciate it. And yeah, it probably is totally copyrighted, but whatever.